Welcome to the Fear and Greed Business News Afternoon Report for Wednesday, the 15th of November, 2023. I'm Sean Aylmer. Every afternoon, we've got the 5 stories that happened today that you need to know about. Story number 1, the S&P ASX 200 closed up 1.4% today to 7,106 points. That's its highest level in a couple of months. Better than expected inflation data out of the United States, more on that shortly, underpinned the rally. It wasn't quite a sea of green, but there were some big moves, especially among the real estate investment trusts and tech sectors. The two sub-indices jumped 4.6% and 3.4% respectively. Only the energy stocks went backwards. Having a look at the REITs, Scentre Group was up nearly 5%, Stockland jumped nearly 6%, and market leader Goodman rose 3.6%. Among the tech stocks, WiseTech jumped 6%, REA was up 2%. Macquarie Group led the banks, rising 5%. About two-thirds of Macquarie's revenue now comes from offshore, so what happens in the US really matters. CSL rose 2.7%. Fortescue Metals Group jumped 3.3%. Newmont did about the same. Today, though, wasn't the day to be in Telstra, Woodside, Santos or Woolworths. Story number 2, oil is up a bit, so too gold and iron ore futures are at their highest since March. The Aussie dollar is back, trading above 65 US cents. Why? Because US inflation figures that came out overnight said that the pace of headline inflation fell from 3.7% to 3.2%. Core inflation, the reading that takes out the volatile items, fell to 4%, the lowest reading in 2 years. That slowdown is more than markets expected and is a strong reason why the US Federal Reserve won't lift interest rates again. Financial markets have now priced in a cut in the US rate in the middle of next year. So with the Fed more likely to be on hold and still a chance that the Reserve Bank here will lift rates, the Aussie dollar jumped. Story number 3, there are a couple of profit results out today. Poker machine giant Aristocrat Leisure posted a net profit of $1.2 billion as growth in North America offset challenging market conditions here and in New Zealand. Group revenue climbed 13% to about $6 billion, largely driven by the success of traditional poker machines in the US. Chief Executive Trevor Croker said the growth reflected the diversification of assets within the portfolio. Its share price closed down nearly 2%. At Farm Chemicals and Seeds Group Nufarm, statutory net profit was slightly higher, but underlying profit was much lower. Now, Nufarm Managing Director and Chief Executive Greg Hunt said that was because of the strong result last year. He said trading will remain challenging in coming months. Story number 4, there was plenty of corporate news around today. Life360 surged after the family tracking platform reported a 38% jump in third quarter revenue. Seek climbed 6% after the job listing website said it was confident of hitting its targets. Lithium miner Allkem, good day for it. It jumped 6% after Australia's foreign investment regulator approved the proposed $16 billion merger with Livent. It now has regulatory approvals from Canada, China, Japan, South Korea, the US, and here in Australia. The vote goes to shareholders on December 19. And the board of fund manager Platinum has been hit with a first strike as 40% of shareholders voted against the resolution to adopt the remuneration report. Finally, story number 5, the Israeli military raided Gaza's largest hospital overnight, conducting what it called a precise and targeted operation against Hamas in a specified area of the facility. The Al-Shifa hospital has been the site of a standoff with a ruling militant group. Israel claims the militants conceal military operations in the facility, but with hundreds of patients and medical personnel inside, the military thus far had refrained from entering. Israel has publicly warned that such use of a hospital like that jeopardizes its protected status under international law. Now, the day before the raid, Israeli military officials conveyed to Gaza authorities that all military activity in the hospital must cease within 12 hours. Israel believes that didn't happen. Hamas has denied the Israeli accusations that it uses the hospital for cover. That's it for the afternoon report for Wednesday, the 15th of November, 2023. Michael Thompson and I will be back tomorrow morning with the Thursday edition of Fear and Greed Business News. I'm Sean Aylmer. Enjoy your evening.